So Mexico's most feared cartels have quietly made South Africa a part of their global supply chain, and the clues were hiding in plain sight. Today we're unpacking how Mexican drug networks are taking root across the country, a legal test that could finally end this revolving door of corruption at state entities, and SARS' limited time deal to settle your tax debt for less. Plus, in the Wildcard, the ancient art hidden in the cliffs of the Drakensberg. My friends, if you're enjoying the show, be sure to like and subscribe. And now, with all that out the way, let's get into it. So what started as a single drug bust in Mpumalanga has now uncovered something far bigger. You see, according to the Daily Maverick, evidence is mounting that Mexico's Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels are now operating inside South Africa, building these large-scale meth and cocaine networks that stretch across provinces. So last month, police raided a meth lab outside Volksrust and arrested 6 suspects, 5 of them Mexican nationals. Then, days later, cocaine worth 20 million rand was seized near Cape Town, some of it wrapped in bricks stamped with the Tesla logo, which is a trademark linked to the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico. Now, investigators and analysts say that this is no coincidence. You see, cartels appear to be franchising their operations, sending chemists to train locals, build hidden labs, and partner with existing crime networks. According to organized crime analyst Julian Rodemeyer, South Africa now ranks among the world's largest markets for crystal meth, and that these labs are now moving production closer to their users. So while there's no new wave of cartel-style violence, their footprint is expanding quietly. South Africa is no longer just a stopover for global trafficking, it's becoming a part of the cartel's supply chain. So if you ran a national company into the ground, you'd probably never work in corporate again. But if you do that in a state-owned enterprise, odds are you'll just be moved to another government board. Same salary, new title. So that's the loophole that the organization undoing tax abuse, or OUTA, is trying to close. You see, they've taken government to court to change the Public Finance Management Act so that executives at state entities like the NSFAS can face the same personal consequences as those at the likes of SAA. I mean, remember former SAA chair Dudu Myeni? A court declared her a delinquent director for life, meaning she can never serve on any company board again. Now, OUTA wants the same standard to apply across all state-run entities because right now, only directors of registered companies can face that kind of ruling. Everyone else can just be suspended or quietly reassigned, which is how the same names keep resurfacing in new scandals. So in the end, OUTA's argument is pretty simple. This isn't government's money. It's your tax money, meant to grow the economy, not fund repeat offenders. And so until people spending it to have something to lose, nothing's really going to change. So if you owe SARS money, there's a new chance to settle your bill for less than the full amount. You see, from the 13th of October until the end of December, SARS is opening what it calls an expedited tax debt compromise. In plain English, if you admit you owe tax but genuinely can't afford to pay it all, you can apply for a deal to clear part of it. So practically speaking, you pay the agreed portion and SARS wipes out the rest. But if you miss that payment, the full debt snaps back into play, penalties included. Now, in saying this offer only covers long-standing debts that aren't currently being fought in court. You'll need to apply through a registered tax practitioner, provide proof of your finances, and show you're not just dodging tax. SARS will process all qualifying applications within 4 weeks. So in the end, it's a small window that can help small businesses and individuals dig out from years of arrears. But for anyone hoping to duck SARS altogether, the agency warns that non-compliance will face tougher enforcement once the deadline passes. And before we cruise on to our Bagel Bite of the day, here's a couple other headlines worth knowing. For starters, the government's RT agency, CETA, says that 57% of its posts remain vacant, leaving over 400 jobs unfilled and crippling service delivery. The agency also missed revenue and spending targets, ironically blaming staff shortages and procurement delays. ABSA and FirstRand are teaming up with Swift to test a blockchain-based system for instant cross-border payments. The prototype aims to let banks move money globally in real time, cheaper, faster, and more securely. And a bumper harvest has sent South Africa's potato prices tumbling nearly 50% year on year. Farmers are now selling below cost and warning that some may not survive the season, all while consumers enjoy cheaper chips. And on to our Bagel Bite of the day. This one's for the caffeine lovers. Let's see what you got. The question is, which country produces the most coffee in the world? Is it A, Colombia, B, Brazil, or C, Honduras? We'll give you the answer at the end of the show. And on to our wildcard section. Long before social media, heck, before ink and paper, South Africa's first storytellers were painting the world across mountain walls. And the best place to see it is in the Ukaslamba Drakensberg Park. So stretching across the KZN-Lesotho border, this UNESCO World Heritage Site isn't just a mountain range. It's home to over 30,000 sand rock paintings, some dating back nearly 3,000 years. Scenes of hunts, rituals, and daily life etched in ochre and charcoal. Archaeologists call it one of the largest outdoor art collections on Earth. But what's wild is how it survived. Sheltered by sandstone caves, the pigments still cling to the rock through centuries of wind, rain, and snow. And while most people go for the hiking views, few realize that they're walking through the oldest cultural record in southern Africa, a literal canvas of human history. So look, if you ever find yourself under those cliffs, look closely. The walls are still talking. And as for that bagel bite, the answer is Brazil. By a long shot. I mean, the country produces about a third of the world's coffee, more than twice as much as Colombia. For over 150 years, it's been the backbone of the global coffee trade, shaping everything from espresso culture to commodity markets. And my friends, that's it for today's show. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is your weekly reminder that if you do prefer your news on the go, whether you're running or driving or learning how to crochet, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Links to both those are either in our description below or our bio. Hope you guys all have a great day. Be kind to one another, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for the next round of the good stuff. God bless.